Gluten sensitivity versus celiac disease. What's the difference? Think you're gluten intolerant? You might be right, or you might have something much more serious. Today we're breaking down the crucial difference between gluten sensitivity and celiac disease, and why knowing which one you have could literally save your life. Gluten-free diets have exploded in popularity over the past decade. Walk into any grocery store and you'll see entire aisles dedicated to gluten-free products. But here's what most people don't realize. There's a massive difference between being sensitive to gluten and having celiac disease. One is uncomfortable. The other is a serious autoimmune condition that can cause permanent damage to your body. Let's explore the science behind both. First, let's talk about what gluten actually is. Gluten is a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. It's what gives bread its chewy texture and helps dough rise. For most people, gluten is completely harmless. Your digestive system breaks it down just like any other protein. But for some people, gluten triggers a response in the body. And this is where things get interesting, because not all gluten reactions are the same. Let's start with gluten sensitivity, also called non-celiac gluten sensitivity. If you have gluten sensitivity, eating gluten makes you feel uncomfortable, but it doesn't damage your body. Symptoms include bloating, stomach pain, headaches, fatigue, and sometimes brain fog. These symptoms usually appear within hours of eating gluten and can last for a few days. It's genuinely uncomfortable, and people who have it aren't imagining their symptoms. Here's the key thing. Gluten sensitivity doesn't cause permanent damage to your intestines. There's no specific test for it, so doctors diagnose it by ruling out celiac disease and wheat allergy first. The treatment is simple. Reduce or eliminate gluten from your diet, and the symptoms go away. Now let's talk about celiac disease, and this is where things get serious. Celiac disease is an autoimmune disorder, not just a sensitivity. When someone with celiac disease eats gluten, their immune system literally attacks their own small intestine. Specifically, gluten triggers an immune response that damages the villi, tiny, finger-like projections that line your small intestine and absorb nutrients. Over time, this damage becomes severe and prevents your body from absorbing essential nutrients like iron, calcium, and vitamins. The symptoms can be similar to gluten sensitivity: bloating, diarrhea, stomach pain. But celiac disease also causes serious long-term complications. We're talking malnutrition, osteoporosis, infertility, neurological problems, and even an increased risk of certain cancers. About 1 in 100 people worldwide have celiac disease, but many don't even know it because symptoms can be subtle or appear later in life. Left untreated, celiac disease can be life-threatening. The good news? Celiac disease can be diagnosed with a simple blood test that looks for specific antibodies, followed by an endoscopy to examine the small intestine. If you're diagnosed, the treatment is a strict, lifelong gluten-free diet, and I mean strict. Even tiny amounts of cross-contamination can trigger damage. So let's break down the key differences. Gluten sensitivity is uncomfortable but not dangerous. Celiac disease is a serious autoimmune condition that causes permanent damage. Gluten sensitivity has no specific test. Celiac disease can be diagnosed with blood tests and a biopsy. With gluten sensitivity, small amounts of gluten might be tolerable. With celiac disease, even trace amounts cause damage. Gluten sensitivity doesn't increase your risk of other health problems. Celiac disease, if untreated, can lead to serious complications. And here's something important. Some people dismiss gluten-free diets as a fad, but for people with celiac disease, it's not a choice, it's essential medical treatment. So if you think you might have issues with gluten, don't self-diagnose. See a doctor and get tested for celiac disease before you cut out gluten, because you need to be eating gluten for the tests to work accurately. Whether you have gluten sensitivity or celiac disease, the good news is that once you know what you're dealing with, you can take control and feel better. The gluten-free options available today are better than ever, and many people find that eliminating gluten dramatically improves their quality of life. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button for more such interesting content that actually makes sense. And if you have celiac disease or gluten sensitivity, drop a comment and let us know your experience. Thanks for watching.